everyone, and welcome back to Cruising with Matthew. Today we're going to talk about Princess Cruises Crown Princess, which I was lucky enough to be invited to by Princess Cruises themselves to attend a press release talking about their newly released Ocean Medallion technology, which had been installed on Crown Princess and was the very first UK-based ship to do so. So it was all very exciting. But I figured it's the best thing to do is to do a traditional ship tour, which I've done in my previous videos, and then next week I'm going to talk a little bit more about Ocean Medallion and my opinions on that and also the ship itself, because I've never been on a Princess Cruises ship, so this was all really exciting for me. So I really hope that you enjoy this set of videos and that you can sit back and relax. A little bit about Crown Princess. So Crown Princess is a member of the Crown class of cruise ships, and this is a slight variation to the Grand class of ships that I've mentioned earlier on in my channel with regards to being on P&O Azura. So I felt a degree of familiarity as the design is quite similar between these classes, although their interiors are completely different. She was christened in 2006 with her godmother being Martha Stewart and has the ability to carry 3,000 guests and around 1,200 crew. She stands 19 decks above the waterline with the exception of a deck 13 for obvious reasons. She also has a lovely open bow at the very front and a flattened aft end which allows for a large number of aft balconies, and one of her unique features at the time was the fact that she possessed a sea screen. So I was really excited to learn what Crown Princess was like, especially having just been on P&O Azura a week before, so it was going to be very interesting to see what it was like. Exploring Crown Princess. So as we boarded Crown Princess, I really enjoyed walking into the atrium, and it really gave you a bit of a wow factor moment, but that's not to say it was overly glitzy or gaudy. I felt like it was really tastefully done, because it felt quite traditional, but had a good air of Art Deco-ness, if that's a word, in it. And the way that the stairs were designed going up for it, they were lovely and curved, and it just made it seem like a really open and inviting space. And I really enjoyed the fact that there was already a band playing music as you walked in, so it gave a lovely atmosphere. And there were banners everywhere saying welcome on board, and there was even a balloon drop ready to go, which I was quite surprised by. So all in all, my first impressions of the atrium were really good, and I couldn't wait to hear more about Crown Princess. Now, on the ground floor of the atrium is the piazza, and this holds a variety of shops and cafes, with one being known as the International Cafe, which serves complimentary foods 24/7, which I think is a brilliant idea, because sometimes you want to try something a little bit different, and I think that's quite a good idea to kind of encourage guests to explore their cultural horizons a bit. And there was also something known as Vines Bar, which paired wines to foods, which is quite a common theme, but one thing that really caught my eye was Vines Bar Chocolate Journey, because apparently you had the ability to try different types of chocolate and they're paired with wine, and that seems right up my street. So I think that's a really nice touch, and I haven't heard of anything like that on other cruise lines that I've been on, so I think that's quite a unique feature for Princess. We then had the opportunity to explore the Princess Theatre. Now this is a very large theatre in my opinion, and since it's so similar to that of Azura, I believe I can make a good comparison and state that you will not have issues getting a seat on Crown Princess or any other theatre like this, due to the fact that there tended to be loads of seats available even during the busy shows when we're on Azura, and there wasn't anywhere that I sat where I felt that the view wasn't that good. So I think that all in all this is a really good theatre, and something that I really enjoyed was that we were allowed to go onto the stage, although just slightly to the edge, and it was really interesting to see the other perspective, as it were, and see what the performers see when they're performing. And it was almost quite overwhelming imagining if all those seats were filled, so I really take my hat off to the performers there. Moving to the higher decks on board Crown Princess, we visited the Lotus Spa. Now, I'll be honest here, I do not know that much about the spas on board cruise ships because I don't frequent them much, but I believe that the Lotus Spa was a very high quality spa, and the staff were so friendly, and they were more than happy to explain to us the variety of treatments that they offer, including things like your manicures and pedicures, to things like hot stone massages. I'm sure that if you fancy a bit of pampering, this is definitely the place to be. Close by to the Lotus Spa is their fitness centre. Now this is fully equipped with all the high-tech equipment that you would expect of a gym on land, ranging from your free weights to your bikes, your treadmills, and this is all coupled with the fact that it's situated right at the front of the ship, so you get these panoramic views of the ocean and also the bow of the ship. So I can imagine it's a very motivating place to exercise and certainly the place to be if you want to keep fit whilst on holiday. We then had the opportunity to explore Crown Princess's open decks, with our first stop being the Sanctuary. Now, this is an extra cost area of the ship and features large padded sunbeds, which are almost like beds in my opinion, and you have your own stewards who will give you refreshments and drinks, and there is a variety of treatment options available as well because they are there in the Sanctuary as well, and is definitely the place to go if you want to splash out a little or celebrate, and it feels a bit more like an exclusive area than the other deck spaces on the ship. So definitely something to consider if you want something that little bit more special whilst you're on your holiday. Now, situated directly behind the Sanctuary is the Sanctuary Pool. Now, this is not an extra cost pool and is adults only, so it's definitely the place to go, especially during the school holidays if you're wanting a more relaxed swim without worrying about the kids. And it is a really nice pool if it's anything like Azura's, but it is fairly shallow, which I guess is a plus and a minus. So if you want more of a relaxing paddle almost, this is definitely the place to be. And I really enjoyed this pool, and especially being on the hottest day of the year, it was very tempting just to want to jump into any of Crown Princess's pools, I'm not gonna lie. So moving further midships, there is the Neptune pool. Now this features a large and very deep pool, so it's very popular with the kids, and surrounding it are a copious amount of sunbeds, hot tubs, and also a pizzeria, an ice cream parlour and coffee cart, with my assumption being that the pizzeria and the ice cream parlour are free of charge, and I have to admit we couldn't help but resist to have a ice cream when we were on board her, and it was really nice. So this definitely seems to be like one of the pools to be when you're on your cruise. Situated directly behind the Neptune pool is the Calypso pool. Now this features another large pool which is fairly deep and also several hot tubs, but the most significant feature is the fact that it has a large sea screen. Now this is the perfect place to watch films during the day, and at night, if it gets a bit chilly, Princess offer guests a blanket, and you can even have popcorn as well, which is given free of charge. So this is definitely something to do at least once on your cruise, because watching a movie whilst at sea is a fantastic experience and I would thoroughly recommend it. Perhaps my favourite pool on board Crown Princess has to be the terrace pool, which is situated right at the back. Now the pool is fairly small but relatively deep, but the views that you can have here are absolutely amazing, especially when the ship is underway. And it is definitely a popular place with loads of people wanting to get these types of sunbed spaces because it's just a lovely place just to watch the world go by and relax. And what I really liked was the fact that higher up on deck 17, there is a little splash pool, which would be perfect if you just want to cool off after a period of sunbathing. So this space is definitely one of my favourite on board Crown Princess. We also had the opportunity to visit Skywalker's Bar, which is situated at the very back and at the very top of the ship. And I think this would be my favourite bar on board Crown Princess due to the fact that you get fantastic wake views, as well as the fact that due to it hanging over the side of the ship, you can look all the way down and get that unique perspective. I feel like this would be the place to be to have a pre or post dinner drink, and I really like the design features within the Skywalker's Bar because it felt like there was lots of space and I feel like you wouldn't have much trouble trying to get a seat. So this would definitely be the place that I would go if I ever got to go on Crown Princess. As we made our way down towards the promenade deck, we visited Club Fusion. Now, this is a more intimate entertainment venue on board Crown Princess, and I absolutely loved it. And especially the way the lighting worked, I could really imagine it being in some upmarket areas of London or New York, for example. And I feel like this would definitely be the place to be if you wanted to dance the night away. And as you can see from the pictures, it was set up for Princess Cruises' version of The Voice, which I think is a fantastic idea, although I don't think I'd have the courage to perform in it myself. But if I ever go on Crown Princess, I would absolutely love to watch this, so it seemed like a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, our time on board Crown Princess was coming to an end, but I managed to quickly go out and see the promenade deck on board Crown Princess, and I was really impressed because the size was quite good for this type of ship, but also there were stairs leading up to the open bow, which I think is a brilliant idea because it means that more people will know it's there, and it'll mean that they get to see in what, in my opinion, is the best place on board the ship to watch a sail away, or a sail in rather. So I think this was a really good design feature on Crown Princess. Final thoughts on Crown Princess. I was really impressed with Crown Princess, and I absolutely loved my time on her. I'd personally like to thank Princess Cruises for letting me visit her, and I feel like I learned so much about the cruise line as well as the ship in general, and I could definitely see myself booking a cruise with Princess in the near future. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I know it may have only given you a brief overview of Crown Princess as our time on board her was quite limited, but I hope it gave you a rough flavour of what she is like. And for those of you who are booked to go on her, I hope you have a fantastic time, and for those of you who are considering to book on Crown Princess, I would say do it because I think she's a fantastic ship. If you have any other questions, please comment below and I'll do my best to answer them, and as always, please like and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this, and I really hope that this was a good video for you. So this is Cruising with Matthew, and thank you very much for watching.